Oh.
Okay, and now we're live. I missed that. I don't know. I have no idea what
was Bailey saying about glove puppets just now?
Don't want to know what she's doing either.
Glove puppets.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I might have misunderstood.
No,
Right.
perfect.
Okay, well, good evening, everybody. Or good morning, good afternoon, good evening, no matter where in the world you happen to be. So, excuse me, we're one missing. We'll have to comment on that as we're going on, but we are one missing at the moment. However, tonight's call, when I put the call up for tonight, I wanted to talk to people about. I wanted to talk about sort of people's expectations when they get started in our business, because it's the weirdest thing. Some people have crazy, unrealistic expectations of what they're going to get. And, you know, they think they're going to get rich in the next sort of nanosecond. Doesn't happen like that. And I want to squash that get rich quick scheme. Hi, Malcolm. How are you?
Malcolm.
I want to squash the sort of get rich quick scheme because it sort of it doesn't really work. Mr. Brooks, you've joined us.
Good evening.
We just thought you weren't talking to us today. Yeah. Well, I knew that's what it would be. So yeah. You missed a few minutes of the impressions of you. That was all.
Okay. Well, I don't mind a replay. I really don't mind a replay.
So Bailey's the one for the impressions. We'll do those afterwards.
100% of the time. Come on, grandson. You can do it, grandson. Hold on, let me share this. I need to share this.
You need to share. It's good to hear. Yeah. So let's talk about what people expect when they get started with this business, because I do think some people come across with unrealistic expectations, and it's a good idea to sort of set people clear right from the beginning. Hi, Spencer. Spencer's watching everything right now, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
He's been all over YouTube watching all my videos on YouTube as well.
Yeah.
So
Roger's greatest hits.
Roger's hits. There was only one.
Yeah.
And it wasn't that great, really, honestly. Don't sort of
Roger's greatest hit.
Don't take the time. So let's talk about what you expected and when you first got started, and did it live up to it? Did it not live up to it? Whatever. Who's going to start? Katie, Daisy, you were the first one from out of these. You're the first one. What did you expect, and did it live up to it?
Well, I didn't have massive expectations, really, because obviously I just came in to learn how to trade, but it's exceeded my expectations, actually, because of the platform that we have. Like, when you're an outsider looking in, you don't really get the value until you're in the academy and you see it and you think, oh my God, this is incredible. So it actually exceeded my expectations on the learning front, because I didn't have any expectations on the monetary sort of front. And like, I came into this just to trade, and then here I am now getting paid for having a well. So it's just exceeded everything for me completely. But like I say, I didn't have massive expectations, because I just went in sort of like, I'm just doing it.
Well, let's ask a different question then, because you and I did an interview months and months and months ago. I think you were the first person that I interviewed when it came to trading. So let's ask the same question now that I asked you then, and that was it all plain sailing?
No, it's not. And the thing is as well, I think people's perception, right, and this was mine, is that you're going to come in, right, you're going to win all these trades, when in reality you come in and you don't win all the trades. Like, you have to learn to take some losses, as long as you're having long-term growth. That's what it's all about. But I think when you first start, you just think, in order to be successful, I need to win every trade. And in reality, that is way far from the truth. So no, it's not been plain sailing. I've had to take some losses, and they are lessons. I've learned lessons, but it's all a learning process. And do you know what? like without having the losses and without learning, you're not going to get to where you want to be because it makes you grow. So, you know, I wouldn't change any of it, me. I wouldn't change any of the hardships at all because it's been phenomenal. And I'm here forever.
Katie's nodding away. Go on, Katie, what did you think when you get started? What was your expectations when you got started?
50 quid a week. 50 quid a week. And I didn't want to be stuck at home, bored of me being kids through lockdown. That was literally what I just wanted when I first joined. Like, I had to close my shop down. I closed my shop down for 8 weeks, obviously because of COVID. And I just remember, like I said, I sent my story a lot, but I literally said to my husband, if I could just make me send 50 quid a week, just give me something to buy me time so I'm not bored at home. Well, so yeah, it has. It really, really has. You know, gone a lot more than what I expected, to be brutally honest. But like Daisy said, no, it is not plain sailing. And as people that know me know that I swear. Quite a bit.
No, really?
I have freaking Tourette's. The emotions are like, what is going on? But it's, you know what, like Daisy, I literally expected to just do this, a bit outside, go back to my shop. Not really bother with it that much, but for me, for me, what was my plan B is now turning to my plan A, and this is what I want to do. I just feel like this is what I was meant to do. I was meant to get on Facebook and talk every Wednesday and Sunday. I have found my calling in life,
and you're so good at it.
I am.
Yeah, absolutely. Go on.
So,
Nick.
yeah.
What did you expect?
I mean, I think when I started, I mean, my expectation, I mean, I was looking for something, obviously, because my income had gone to zero. And I wanted to obviously find something that we could do with all the current restrictions that we have. You know, so obviously, you know, not being able to go out, not going out, be able to meet other people, etc. I wanted to learn something that would be useful maybe in the short term, but actually also useful in the longer term, that would continue to work around, you know, once I got back to work, once the theatres open, if they ever open again, you know, when I go back to work, I wanted to have something that I could continue to do that would fit around it. So I suppose a bit like our first three, I didn't have huge expectations monetary wise. You know, I wanted something that could earn me a few quid because I was earning nothing. And you know, it was never going to be. I never expected it to be something where I would earn lots of money, you know, straight away. I still haven't got the Lamborghini. I have got the bikini, but that's another story.
Say that, and I just
yeah,
the mania.
You know,
I was trying to put it out in my mind.
But so I didn't expect that, you know, straight away, you know, to be making loads of money. And I kind of got from the get-go, this is about sort of taking small amounts of money and making them a little bit bigger each week, incrementally. So I was never expecting to start paying all my bills, you know, second week in or anything like that. I knew this was a longer-term project, but that it would actually serve me a lot better than going out and sort of exchanging a bit of time for money and getting a few pennies in the short term. Over the long term, this would be something, you know, and it's turned out to be a lot more than I thought, really. I didn't have a great understanding of trading or anything when I first started, so I didn't know the full potential when I started. But yeah, you know, this, if you're looking at this and thinking, I want something that I can start doing this week and pay my bills next week, then just don't bother, because it won't do that. I mean, you know, you could theoretically, you know, get a flyer and build a massive team in a week. Some people do, but you know, when it comes to trading, that won't do that. But if you stick at it for, you know, a year, 18 months, etc., yeah, then it can become something quite serious that can seriously change your life. And there aren't many things that you can do that with. I mean, when people go to university, do they expect their second week at university to start earning lots of money or something? No, they put in 3 years and come out with a massive debt and then start trying to earn some money. So why anybody thinks this is, you know, going to be an immediate thing. I find it extraordinary how people think that. You've got to put the time in. Anything worth doing that's going to get you a real reward, you need to put some time and effort in, and it will pay you in spades if you put it in. But you've got to be patient. You've got to be patient.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you, and I do think. Is that Mia coming back?
Nick.
Is it Nick again? Right.
I'll turn my sound
Have
out.
you not eaten it? Let your stomach rumbling.
I do think that this isn't about your first year. It's about your second year. I think the second year is where the magic comes, and that's where. Yeah, I mean, you guys are just about getting ready to start your second year, and it's just about going to get really, really exciting. Bailey, I've got to ask you.
If you think about it, Roger, if someone was to buy a restaurant, are they going to break even in the first month? No.
They're going to go bust, mate. They're going to go bust.
Yeah, exactly. They will do now. But it's like, will it take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years? Yes. It is a business. What people don't realize, this is a business. An interesting thing.
People think this. They think it's a little sideline, it's a little hobby, and they treat it like a hobby. And when you treat it seriously, when you treat it like a business and you think it's a business, that's when you get to see the potential of it. I'm dying to hear what Bailey thought, because Bailey, I know that when Bailey first heard about this, someone saw him on Snapchat reading Rich Dad, Poor Dad. So I've got to hear what he expected.
It's a funny one because, like you said, it's very weird how this worked out. A couple of days before that happened, I'd been talking to one of my friends who's in my team, and we're speaking about it, and we're saying that we would love to learn how to trade. You know, it's what all the big guys are doing. So you can see what our expectations were set. The big guys were doing it. So it was just a couple of days later, I was Snapchatting Malcolm's daughter, Courtney, who's also part of the team as well. And she said, "Oh, my dad might have something you'd be interested in." Okay, I'll give him a message. So I messaged Malcolm, hadn't spoken to him before, and it all started for there. When I started, this whole time when everybody's been speaking, I've been sitting there thinking, what was my expectations? I don't know what my expectations was. I don't know what I was expecting. I want to be a millionaire. I want to be a millionaire. That's something for sure. Billions if possible. I didn't think things were going to move as quick as they were. Towards when I first started, I expected this could be a very slow process and it was going to take a lot of time. I thought where I am now, I expected to be in a year or two. And that's not me saying this has been an easy road. My God, it's not been an easy road. And Roger knows that it's not been an easy road better than anyone for me. And I don't know what I expected, but whatever's happened now is way more than I thought would have ever happened, because since the start of the year, things have just absolutely exploded for me. Absolutely exploded. I've been able to sack off the job, which, yeah, I didn't expect I'd be sacking the job 8 months ago. I really didn't think that. I didn't expect to be in a position when I was making a residual income, because when I started with this, I never thought I'd have the opportunity to have a residual income. I never thought I'd be able to place trades independently. So whatever I thought might have been possible, I've done that 10x, 100%. So maybe quite opposite from everyone else's answers, but I don't know what I was expecting, but it's been mental what has happened.
I'm not sure whether I've sort of made that better or worse, because I just turned around and said people come in with crazy expectations, and everyone's going, no, way better than that.
That's what I'm saying. That might be why we're all here, because we've not got silly expectations like I'm going to be a millionaire in a week. We all had
that might well be.
Well, I was reading that out. I was thinking about that, and I know it's what we're trying to say to people is, and me saying that does not mean that you're going to come into this and it's going to be mental, because I spent my first 5-6 months I didn't do much for my first couple of months. Then I started putting a bit of work into it. And as you say, when you put the work into it, it gets paid back. And the reason I had some explosive growth towards the start of this year is because I just went for it. Now, not everyone has the time to do that. I was lucky because I was on furlough at the time. So I had the opportunity to put a little bit more effort into it than the average person probably can, because a lot of people have their 9 to 5 to juggle with. But as long as you come into this expecting that you have to put a bit of work into it, this will pay dividends for your whole life. A residual income of can't say here, but you know, a residual income and income from trading, and it wasn't easy. And I'm only at the start of my journey. But what is possible? What's possible is humongous. It's not easy, and most people will never do X in that space of time. It takes a lot of effort. But if you have realistic expectations and know you have to put the effort into that, it can be whatever you want it to be. Slightly different from other answers, but
Can I just add though, when we first come on, we didn't have a Yoda. We didn't have a Yoda.
We didn't have a Yoda.
When we first come on, did we? So to me,
And everybody should have a Yoda.
everyone should have a
so that literally does change the game slightly on people's expectations, I personally think.
But the fact is that, and for you guys who think that Katie's gone crazy now talking about Yoda, Yoda is someone who we're working with and is helping us to get better at trading. But we've only been working with him for a couple of weeks. You know, you're a year into the journey. We've had him around for a couple of weeks, so the expectations for next year are going to be much greater. But it's still about putting that learning effort in the first instance. Mr. Brooks, what did you expect?
Well, I've got a bit of a strange story. A lot of you know my son, Fraser. Fraser was in my previous business that we was involved with, that the CEO and owner dropped the ball, really screwed up. And we sat down one day and we said, what's our plan B? Fraser came up with a company called IML. Fraser introduced me to a guy called Jason Brown. I said, not for me. 4 years ago, 4 freaking years ago, I said no. And he said, Dad, this is the one, this is the one, this is the one, this is the one. I said, no. And I got involved in another opportunity that was its competitor that stuffed me for thousands and thousands and thousands. So, you know, I'm so pleased I didn't have a huge ego and said, oh, no, I said no to it. And the weirdest thing and the most annoying thing, and Jason Brown won't be watching this, he does rub my nose in it now and again. He does say,
You might watch it when I share this with him.
yeah. Hey, bro, didn't you say no to me 4 years ago? Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah, mate. Yeah. Cheers. Yeah. So I said no to it originally. So if anybody is watching this live right now, don't make my mistake. I've been in this profession for 33 years. I've been around the block many, 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 many times. And I tell you now, you will never, ever, ever see an opportunity with the leadership, the professionalism, the solidarity, the quality, and the backup that this opportunity's got. And if you are anybody that's in networking, if this video or this live has been shared to somebody and you are a networker and you are looking, you might not be happy with any aspect of what your opportunity is, whether it be the product, whether it be the leadership, whether it be the ownership, no matter what it is. What we're not looking at doing is we're not looking to rip people out of their successful opportunity where they're making a good income. This industry is tough to make a good income. A lot of opportunities are a little bit easier than others. I would class ours easier than others. So I'm so pleased that I've found my home. This is my last build. So if there's anybody out there that's thinking to themselves, do you know something? What you guys are saying, you're having a lot of fun. You seem to have the right leadership, the right mentorship, and everything else. You seem to have the right company, the right opportunity. It might pay me to take a look at it. speak to the person that sent and shared the video with you, the live with you, and say, tell me more. That's all you got to do. Just tell me more. We do live presentations. We used to do one. Hold on, not finished. We used to do one live presentation a week. But because these guys are just ramping it up, and we're now doing 5 live presentations a week. So we got some growth. So if you like a bit of growth, if you'd like to get a bit of momentum, if you'd like an opportunity where you can make a fortune, get involved with somebody. Back to you, Rog.
Freedom! For me, then I just saw Nick and I was like,
I can't help it.
You'd like a bit of growth.
It's like, that's it. We've lost the moment now. He's starting to speak. We're on broadcast. Conversation's gone out the window. I've got a soapbox.
That's why I've made all the millions I've made, because I don't give a shit what people think and what they say, and I just plow straight through. Don't give a toss. Up yours. So what? That's me. I'm done. There we go. And I don't take no. I do not take no for an answer.
God help us.
No means not.
So, shall I try and drag us back a bit somewhere? It was interesting.
Well, you can drag us somewhere. Anyway.
I think it was interesting, the fact that you and I came to this at the same time, because I was involved in that previous company with you. And the previous company that we were with, we thought had the same promise, but there was no education with it. They didn't teach you how to do anything. They relied on automated platforms. And the problem is the automated platforms didn't work. So they bring one out and say, like, right, guys, what you can do, put $1,000 into a trading account, and this will do it all for you. So you put $1,000 into a trading account, and we all got excited, and we all sat there with a compound calculator. It's going to make 4% a month. Fabulous. 4% a month. Let's have a look. That's like 3 years. That's going to make us rich. That's fabulous. Yeah. Problem is, all the trades have lost. Pardon? Where's my grand? Gone. Right, but we've got a better one now. We've got another one. This one will do 15% a month. 10 times in a row over a period of 18 months. And it's like, there's only so many times you can say to people, this is the one, this is it. It's like, you got to learn this stuff. You got to put some time and effort into learning it. Put time and effort into learning it, and it will make you financially independent. But don't expect that some automated system with a robot that does the trading for you is going to make you rich, because it really isn't. You know, the forex market's a funny market, and the markets can tell. I mean, it's not surprising if you think about it. You imagine if you get 10,000 people around the world subscribe to one particular bot, and all of a sudden, all the brokers see 10,000 people placing an identical trade at the same second. It's not like 10,000 people jumping in with similar stop losses and similar take profits, but they're coming in at different entry points or anything else. This is the same microsecond 10,000 trades are placed. The markets are going to react to it, and they fail because of it. Because it's obvious and it doesn't work. And when we came to IM, we just, first of all, we were impressed with the support, and we were impressed with the education. But the one thing that we did get was 3 months in, we were just overwhelmed, weren't we? There was so much stuff to learn. And that was when you and I first started to, that's when we came up with the idea of the winner's circle and trying to simplify everything as much as we could. And that's been the secret of what's happened for the last 18 months. It's been about simplify as much as we can in every area that we can. Simplify, simplify, simplify. Because, excuse me, when you keep it simple, when you keep it so that everyone can understand what you're talking about, you're going to reach more people. But if you have something, you know, if people look and think, my God, you need to be a rocket scientist to figure this out, it's not going to work, is it? It's just, you know. And as it is, because we've got something that's simple, we have a laugh with it, and we get the 6 of us here every week, just sort of laughing and choking, waiting for Simon to say something wrong again, and just.
So you know that company
phone then.
you know that company with the bots that didn't work.
Yep.
Is that why we got Yoda instead of R2D2 then?
Believe it or not, they did have a trader at one point in time, but they had Darth Vader.
Oh God!
So, Nick,
what about the dark side?
Do not go to the dark side.
How long have you been in a comedy school, Nick? Do you get that along with your acting school, like profession?
Yeah, you know what? You guys feed me so many great lines. It's not difficult. I've got all these straight men.
I'm with you. It really isn't. So I thought someone was saying something there. Yeah, and it's just they had. Yeah, they really did have Darth Vader.
That's hilarious.
And it was like, wow.
Darth Vader didn't work.
Yeah.
They had this guy who traded for them for a short while that was quite good. And he called himself Dark Vader, not Darth Vader, Dark Vader. But he played like all the music from The Empire Strikes Back and all the stuff going on. He's sending little memes in. And he traded for about 3-4 weeks and everybody was doing great. And then all of a sudden, he stopped trading. But he still kept sending the music. And then he put a poll out on Telegram, who wants to see me come back? And everybody's going, yeah, we want you back. And then he said to the company, what a load more money. And the company wouldn't pay him. And eventually, after about 3 weeks, people are up in arms going, we've got to have him back, we've got to have him back. And eventually, Darth Vader came back. Not Dark Vader, Darth Vader came back. I don't think it was the same guy at all, because the guy that came back was just crap. The signals were awful.
Was that Darth Vader?
Yeah, we got Darth Vader, yeah. And it was really funny. But again, even when someone's sending you signals are great. When you're learning, signals are fantastic. Mm-hmm. But you still have to learn it, because otherwise you're never going to be independent. If the genius trader that's sending you the signals and making you money gets hit by a bus, you're stuffed. You've got to learn this stuff if you want to become financially independent. And that's what we're talking about. And we're not talking about Lamborghini bikini. We're talking about whatever it is that changes your life. And financially independence might be 1,500 quid a month. An extra 1,500 quid a month. You might love the job that you do. You might love your mates, and you might if lockdown's over, you want to go back to playing football on Saturdays and do whatever you want to do. And 1,500 quid a month could change your life. That becomes life-changing money. We all have, and that's what I said with this at the beginning about expectations. It's not about our expectations or Bailey's expectations or anyone else, Simon's expectations. It's about what people expect when they get on board. But don't expect it all to happen instantly. Expect that there's a bit of time to go into it and a bit of, put a bit of groundwork into it. But once the groundwork's done, you guys are the results of it, because you guys, it's changed things for all of you in less than a year for every single one of you. Mm. And that's really exciting, isn't it?
I think one of the so I was just going to say, one of the things that I think gives IM Academy huge credibility is the fact that a number of people who joined the Academy over recent years who knew nothing about trading, they came knowing zero, have gone on to become educators. They have learned to do it, and they've learned to do it so well, they've become really successful traders, and they're now educating the new people coming in. And they only get to be educators when they can demonstrate that they really know what they're doing and they've already made a considerable amount of money from trading. And I think that's a feather in the cap of IM Academy, that people come as students and some go on to become educators because they get that good at trading. I think that's a brilliant thing, you know, that demonstrates just what this academy is about.
And it shows something about the people as well, that they're prepared to give back as well, because our educators, I mean, a lot of people think that our educators must get paid a fortune for being, they don't get paid much for being educators. They're just paying back, aren't they?
Yeah.
I mean, you know, it's like, you know, when we first found out how much the educators were paid, we were really surprised, weren't we?
We were shocked.
Because, you know,
Absolutely shocked.
They're
But
probably,
it's not how much they get paid. It's not necessarily how much they get paid. They've all got to be distributors. They don't take an educator on unless they're a distributor.
Yeah, so they've got to have a following of their own, but they don't get paid much for doing it. But because they've got a following of their own, they're there to help their own people, and everyone else is able to jump in and find the best person, the person that they relate to, because not everybody likes every person. Yeah, but we've got 200 different people to choose from. You're going to find someone. You're going to find some people that you like, not someone. You're going to find some people that you like. You're going to find your favourites, and your favourites might be different to mine. But it just makes it. I think it's weird, isn't it? I mean, if you and me, Simon, 18 months on, and we still phone up, you phone each other up and just say, like, it gets more exciting by the day, because there's more and more coming all the time. Yeah, people we've got joining us. The last 6 weeks have been crazy, haven't they? The last 6 weeks we're bringing more and more people on. The team's getting bigger. We're spreading the word faster. I can't wait for the moment when lockdown's over and everybody can get out and start meeting people again and spreading the word even faster. I can't wait to see what Katie's going to be doing with people, because they're going to go from T-shirts with leaflets pinned to the back. I've no idea what's coming next.
Billboards outside my shop.
Say it again.
Billboards outside my shop.
Billboards outside. You can do that now.
Yeah.
Billboards are a good idea. There's this year, when lockdown is finally over, and the signs are there that it's getting closer. You've got your COVID jab tomorrow, haven't you?
I have.
Tomorrow? Yeah.
Tomorrow.
I got a phone call from Gordon earlier saying he's got his as well, and he's younger than me. And I'm thinking, so Simon's got his. Most of my family have got theirs. My brother's 9 years younger than me. He's had his. They don't care about me.
Well, that's obviously true, but they just go for special people. They're going for special people, bro. Sorry, mate.
And I'm not special enough.
There's no more special than Simon. I've already had mine. They rang me up. They rang me up at the weekend and said, "Do you want to come in to have your COVID jab today?" Oh, okay. So I've actually had mine.
Nick, that wasn't a COVID jab, mate. That was a different kind of jab.
Oh, really? So
there's geographical differences for most of us, but Gordon lives around the corner from me, and he's younger than me. He phoned me up and he said, "I'm officially old now." What do you mean? Well, they've offered me my jab. Well, they haven't offered me one. So,
you know what I said to Jules today? I said, when I have my jab and the second jab, does that mean I don't have to wear a face mask? No, she said. You still got to wear it. I said, oh, really? And I go,
even in the house? Even in the house?
Well, not one indoors, but I have when I go out. I always when I go out.
I think I'll be waiting a bit longer than all of you for a jab anyway. I can imagine I'll be pretty far at the bottom of the list, I would imagine.
You're going to be right at the bottom.
Yeah.
But to be fair, when most of us are talking about isolation, you've got isolation nailed at the moment, haven't you?
That's that, I suppose. Definitely, I suppose, yeah. At least Well, there's no bars open, but cafes are open, shops are open. So
Cafes are open. Cafes are open.
Yeah, cafes are open. Shops are open. The only thing that's really changed is pubs have closed. Pubs and bars closed. They can't
when you say shops, though, Bailey, you really mean shop, don't you? I mean, there's only one on the island, isn't there?
We have a high street. We have the shopping district. Thank you.
The shopping district.
They've got Tesco's.
We have Tesco. We have the Co-op. We have Lidl. We have a very fine selection of local shops, hardware stores, many of them as well.
Yeah, and cafes. We can't get a coffee for love nor money.
Well, then who's winning now? Then who's stuck on the island and winning now?
Costa takeaway. That's all we've got. Costa takeaways.
All the cafes are open here. It's just perfect. Just living the life on the top of the island.
Yeah, but you're just not allowing people to drive up there anyway, so it's too far to come for a coffee anyway.
It's far too far to come for coffee.
Yeah.
So, excuse me. So, is it? Caroline says we're only in tier 3. Oh, she could. God, look at this. Oh, hang on. We're getting the Oatmeal vote now. Here we go. Right, split for choice for local shops. Yeah. Caroline could have had hers weeks ago. And it's only tier 3. Well, yeah. Okay. I'm not jealous. I'm sorry. It's still too cold. It's like it's bad enough down.
Should have seen it.
Bad enough down here.
Oh, nightmare. It's maybe like 50, 60 mile an hour wind again tomorrow. It was about 70 the other day. I'm just bloody sick of the wind. Oh.
Right.
You miss fishing.
Well, at this time of year, no. In the summer, when it's nice weather, yeah, best job in the world. This time of year, you get up at 4 in the morning, you're blasted with rain and wind, and then you have to go to sea. You get woken up about 5 o'clock with a big wave hitting you in the face. No, it's not great.
Oh.
It's not great.
No, you've not sold it to me. You've not sold it.
He was selling it then, wasn't he? No, it wasn't. No.
Yeah. It's hardly a cruise, is it?
It's not quite a cruise. A 12-meter boat's not quite as exciting as a 200 cruise ship. No.
Yeah, you can't go skiing off it, can you? Costa del Oatmeal.
Costa del Oatmeal.
Costa del Oatmeal, yeah.
So anyway, after that brief interlude, I hope that we'd explain something about, what people expect and what people get out of it, and don't come in expecting to get rich quick, because it's not going to happen. Come in expecting to do a little bit of work. But here's something that I think is important. Don't expect that you're going to be stuck on your own doing it either, because there are so many. There's not just one. There are so many different communities within our team that work together. Katie, you started your first Telegram group, then a second Telegram group for different strategies and different people. Daisy, I've lost track of how many you've got. They're just all over the place, all over Facebook. But Bailey's got his own little groups. Everybody helps everyone else. We all sorts of mix in and out of different groups. We have one bigger group that most people are in, but there's so much help and support that it becomes a much easier learning process than you and I had when we first got started, Simon. Because when we and I first got started, we had Brandon. We had one person to help us, and he did a sterling job. I remember
when I first started networking. We didn't have email. We just had postal mail.
Smoke signal.
Pony Express.
Yeah. Pigeon post.
That's the one.
That was it. Technology now. And it's on one of those telephones that you had a ring, you dial people. Yeah.
You get Brooks. There weren't dials at those times.
I've seen them in museums, Simon. I've seen them in museums.
Tell you what.
Mayfair 231, putting you through now.
I'm not saying I'm old, but I'm really old.
Ancient, I would say so.
Oh dear.
We did that. I mean, we did when we first got started. Jeez, and it cost a fortune, didn't it? The telephones cost a fortune.
Yeah, but my telephone bill, my monthly telephone bill was £1,000 a month.
What?
Oh,
That was a quarter. That was a quarter. You're exaggerating.
Sorry, quarter,
again.
beg your pardon.
Yeah.
Quarter.
Yeah.
Yeah, my wife has told me a million times never to exaggerate.
I know.
Yeah.
Mine was about £700 a quarter, and my mobile phone was about another £50 a month on top of that. But the deal with the mobile phone was you'd phone someone from your mobile phone, and the first thing you'd say is, "Call me back," because it was too expensive to stay on the phone. It was cheap for them to call you, but it was really expensive for you to call them. These days, buttons, unlimited minutes, everything, way easier. So there you go, guys. Much easier today than in the dark ages when Simon and I got started, but bundle of fun as well. So what would you what would your advice? Let's wrap it up. What advice would any of you give? Let's just go round one by one. Advice for anyone getting started right now. Let's start with Simon.
Just jump in. 2 feet, balls deep, jump in. Get jumped.
Yeah.
Why do you want to think about it? The longer you think about it, the more money you're losing. Just do it. Just
Nick.
do it.
Nick.
I think what I would say to people is this. I mean, what we do. If you're someone who has a little bit of patience, if you're someone who can wait for your rewards, if you're someone who's quite happy to sort of actually cook a proper meal rather than stick it in the microwave because you want it in 30 seconds, you'll get on fine with this. You need to have a little bit of patience, but the reward that you can get from doing this is massive compared to what you get like that. Stuff you get like that is next to nothing. It's gone. You stick with this. Most of us have been in here for coming up for a year, or you guys a little bit longer. If you come and stick with it for a year, you will never go away. You will never go away. Once you get into this and you realize just what it can do, you won't be going anywhere. So come on board, but get locked in, stick with us, and we will carry you to where you want to go.
Fantastic. Katie.
I've got to step up first, like, just don't even think about it. Just freaking get yourself on board, jump in, and like Nick says, you won't want to go. I swear to God, you will not. It's and like we said before, like, what I like last time I said about what have you got subs, but the thing is, it costs a few £100 to get started, but you've got everything to gain. Everything to gain, and the only reason that this business would not work is if you didn't work and you didn't put the time in. That's the only difference between us and them educators that are can buy millions and millions of pounds sweet. That is the only difference. That is the only difference, is putting the work in, the belief, and like I said, guys, just do it, for God's sake. Just do it.
God's sake.
Daisy, what would you say? Brand new person, just looking at it right now, trying to make the mind up. What's your best advice?
My advice would be pretty similar to what everyone else has said, is just do it. And when you do it, utilize the person who gets you into it. Like, work closely with the person who brings you on board. Like they're there to help. Don't just jump in and just sit there twiddling your thumbs thinking, oh, best not ask things. Like, use the person who you've joined. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, use the people around you. Don't be afraid to ask questions, and just stick at it, because it will change your life if you just stick to it. If you do it for a week and sack it off, you will never reap the rewards. Whereas if you just stick to it, like we've all been here for like nearly a year plus, whatever. Yeah, like that's when the wheels are in motion now. Do you know when you the snowball effect? That's it. Going downhill and it's gaining speed and it's getting bigger. I think we're getting Well, I hope I'm not getting bigger because I'm in lockdown. But we are getting bigger now and gaining momentum. Like, I probably am getting bigger in lockdown, but gaining momentum now. This is like the time. I can feel the wheels are going faster. So stick at it, keep going, and success will come. That's my advice.
Okay,
Yeah,
Bailey.
I'm not getting bigger. I'm just sitting closer to the camera. If anyone's wondering.
Well, I would like to say something different from everyone else, but I don't think I can. Just do it, people. this opportunity, this business, whatever you want to call that, this will work for anyone who puts effort into it. If you're not wanting to put, I'm not saying you have to dedicate your life to this. You don't have to do that. A little bit of effort, and this can really, really pay long-term extraordinary amounts of money if you put the effort into it. The more you put into this, the more you can get out of it. Myself, I decided, right, let's go for this, and I've seen some awesome things happen, and awesome things are still happening. This is not for people who think they can jump into something, rest on everybody, and get it done for them. If you put a bit of effort in, we'll be able to help you. Whatever you put in, we'll put in.
Absolutely.
Do you know what? I'm so excited to see where Bailey is. When people, I went to university. I'm not going to decry getting a college education or going to university. I went to university for 3 years. But you know what? I'll be so amazed to see where Bailey is at the age where he might have been coming out of university if he'd gone to university. He's what, 18 now? So when you're 21, 22, when other people are coming out with 40 grand's worth of debt and then hoping to get a job, and God knows I hope they do, where I can't wait to see where you are and what you're doing and what you've achieved. It'll be amazing.
Well, thank you very much. That does mean a lot. I'm very excited about the future. And whatever's going to happen, we're doing it together, people. Let's go. Woo!
Yeah.
I do have to say, you just have to echo it. Everybody said all that there is. The only thing that you have to lose is the opportunity. Don't do it and then you've lost. If you don't do it, you've really, really lost. If you get started, that you've got everything to gain. It's not what you've got to lose, it's what you have to gain. Okay, guys, we do these calls every week. This week's been less manic than some of them.
Bit more productive.
We still had a laugh. So
Very productive. I like it.
yeah, we'll be back again at 8 o'clock next week. If you're watching this and you're seeing this for the first time, or if you're watching the replay, if someone shared it with you, just ask them what the hell it is we're talking about and ask how you can get started. We do a presentation, and these guys here, Bailey, Daisy, Nick, Katie, do a presentation Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I do one on Saturday morning.
No, Friday.
Friday. No, Simon doesn't. Simon doesn't. Ignore that. Friday's out of it. Yeah.
Cut that.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday morning. Yeah. We'll do a presentation where if you want to understand it, we'll give you the whole deal in 15 minutes. If you want to explain it to a friend, we'll explain it to everybody for you in 15 minutes. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure it out. You will get it all in a very, very short space of time. Come and join us. We'd love to see. We've got room on here. We can actually fit more people on this screen right now. We can have more people join us for a laugh on a Wednesday. We'd love to see more people here. See you next week, guys. Bye, everyone.
Next episode.
See you later.
Yeah. Next episode.